Hey everyone, welcome to the Kontent Rocks podcast, the podcast about all things content by Kentico, even with a little .NET and Azure in there from time to time. This is your host, Brian McKeiver. Thank you all for listening. And today's episode is going to be about the power of recommendations when using them on your websites and maybe your e-commerce shops. We're going to dig into that a little bit. It's my pleasure today to be joined by a few industry leaders in that world when it comes to personalization and recommendations. I'd like to introduce you all to Pavel Kordik, the CEO of Recombee, and Gabriela Takacova from Recombee as well. She's the Chief Business Development Officer, as I understand it. So, Pavel and Gabriela, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you very much, Brian.
Awesome. So, as I said, you both are from Recombee. I think before we get too much further, in case anyone isn't familiar with Recombee, maybe Pavel or Gabriela, you could kind of introduce the company, give us the background, maybe the elevator pitch about what you guys do.
Thank you very much, Brian, for the kind introduction. Recombee is AI recommendation engine that helps clients all around the world to personalize UX on their sites and apps. We are doing that by analyzing behavior of the users on sites, as well as analyzing different product and content attribute and provide each of the unique user with tailored content and product recommendations.
Awesome. And I think that's so critically important in today's world because as we were talking, as we were kind of getting ready for the show, almost every project that we see for our clients, and I think for your clients, it's like expected that we have personalization and those kinds of recommendations at this point, right? Is that correct from what you guys are seeing too?
Yes, exactly. There is such a vast amount of content which is generated again and again, and its size is increasing. You can imagine going to VOD sites such as Netflix looking for a title that might be interesting for you. And if you are not able to find what might catch your interest, you are leaving that site and you are going somewhere else. So this is a real competitive need right now to have a really personalized user experience for the clients.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a common misconception that personalization is really hard and it takes a lot of extra resources, and my marketing team may not have time, or my content team may not have time to deliver on all those things. And that's pretty much, I don't think, very true these days with services like Recombee, right? I mean, it's one of those things to where it does not take a ton of extra resources. It takes some, but we'll get into it. I think, we could talk about what this is for quite a while here, but maybe let's try this. Gabrielle, maybe would you want to show a quick demo for those watching, and then we'll kind of narrate for those listening on the podcast as well. But I think let's do a deep dive not deep dive, a quick version overview of what providing recommendations can do with Recombee, and then we'll talk about maybe where you can use it, why you can use it, and maybe how it integrates with content from there.
Yes, definitely. We will be very happy to show the viewers our short demo to help them better visualize how recommendations look on the sites of our clients. Let me share my screen.
Sure. And I will make sure this time to get it up on the feed so that everybody else can see it too. Here it comes.
Brian, as you said, yeah, the integration is very easy now, and we did our best with Kentico team to make it even smoother for all Kentico clients, so they can use our service very easily.
Well, good. Thanks, Pavel. I'm excited to get to that part too.
I think we should be seeing a Recombee Demo store right now.
Yep.
I have accessed it as an anonymous user, a user that this site has no information about regarding my previous purchases or my behavior on the site. So I'm seeing different parts of the website. The first part that I'm seeing is the just for you section, where currently I'm seeing the bestsellers, which might attract my attention. Imagine I am looking for some new furniture for my apartment, and this lounge chair might fit my need. So I am looking at the lounge chair, and as I scroll down, I see the similar products. These similar products are showcased in the real time by Recombee, and they have been chosen by the many attributes that Recombee is analyzing. For instance, by image similarity, by the brand similarities, or the text descriptions of those products. As I browse further, I might be returning to the home page. As I return to the home page, I see the Just For You section, which is now in the real time personalized for me based on my previous clicks on the site. What I'm also seeing is the section which is popular and trending, and this section is showing me some alternative products or other products which has been purchased by the users. As I'm also scrolling further, besides the similar products that you have previously seen, Recombee can also provide the client with alternative product section. You can see here both together, where we are showing products which are usually purchased together with the product that we are currently seeing. So this is a short demo how the live interactions are very important and how the real-time recommendation engine can provide you with the personalization from the very first click on the site.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you, Gabriela. I want to pick up a point that you mentioned in there, because I think that's one of the reasons that we all want to show off this technology and this solution is that you mentioned real-time recommendation engine. That's different than maybe the old way of doing a recommendation, where it was a very straightforward rule-based, right? If you did this X thing, then this Y thing would show up. And a marketer or a content person had to sit around and in their CMS or in their platform, whatever it was, and they'd kind of have to set up all those rules and do a lot of work ahead of time to think about the scenarios or the relationships between pieces of content. And what?
Exactly. That's correct. Its application of solutions such as Recombee does not only improve conversion rates on the sites and the user experience of the visitors. However, it also helps you to save the team of your editorial staff, which can then focus on other more value-adding activities.
Right. And so basically it saves your organization time so they can move faster and still along the way have that personalized experience for the visitor. And I also want to ask you this question, because I think it's great that you brought up, you were looking at that demo site as an anonymous user. It may be the first time a visitor has come to the website. So we're not, we don't know much about that visitor yet. We don't know their name or their email or their demographic or their title, which is a standard way to do personalization based off maybe an attribute or something that we know about a visitor. Your solution is actually using kind of behavior of all of the visitors to the website to help that first touch for that first anonymous user, as long as I understand it correct. Is that about right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Maybe Pavel, you can tell us something about how that works from the technical standpoint.
Okay, I just want to say something about the algorithms in behind, because this is something that we really focus on, and we would like to have as good algorithm as possible. And that's also why we have a strong research team, and we invest a lot into product research and development of new features. So basically, it's very easy. When you have anonymous user, and user make a click on some particular product, you collect this interaction, and you already know that this user might be interested in this direction. So this single click already tells you a lot about some personality and some attributes of the user in terms of behavior. And more clicks you have, even within one session, then better you can personalize. Of course, when you have also history, then the personalization is even better. And we take into account not only interactions of this single particular user, but of all users of your website. So basically you can find similar users, and then you can help this particular user to discover new things that has been interacted by similar users. So it's not just about reminding stuff, but it's mostly about discovery of new stuff.
Well,
That's
very cool.
true. Definitely, also our content processing models are helping out in those scenarios where there is not much information, not only about the user, but also there is a new product or content in the catalog. For instance, you have a new emerging content, some kind of new movie title that you are showing on your site, or a news article that has been just released. And how Recombee is tackling that is, for instance, our text processing models, which are working with 70 plus languages, also other models which are just trying to see which content will be more and more relevant, which content will be more and more popular or emerging content, as we are calling it.
Okay. So yeah, so that's a good point for those who are maybe new to this subject or this solution is kind of where and when I can use recommendations. It's not only for like the pure e-commerce solution, right? As we looked at in that quick demo, we were looking at products and related products and things like that. And maybe this person is interested in buying this thing because of other people were similar interests. But I believe, you were just kind of getting into that, Gabriela. Like it can be on other non-commerce websites as well, right? News articles, insights that a financial service may be providing. All types of content can really benefit from this sort of recommendation and personalization, right?
Exactly. Our solution is very versatile. We are working with clients for whom we are not only providing product recommendations, but content recommendations are big specialization of Recombee, where we are providing personalized recommendations of news articles, but also podcasts, for instance. That's a very interesting category. And we are also working with real estate sites, job portals, and other aggregators that are showing the second-hand products, where we are really needing a strong recommendation engine that can work with data scarcity. Not always you have a perfect test description or perfect information about the product, but because of the knowledge that we have about the interactions, that is helping us a lot by providing and getting the right content to the right users.
That's awesome. I mean, and that's what it's all about these days. How can we get the right content to the right users as efficiently as possible? And actually, I have a very selfish question I'd like to ask the both of you. You just mentioned it's in many different types of solutions that you can use this. Which one is the one, maybe this question is for Pavel. Pavel, which one is the vertical or the industry that you're the most proud of, where the solution has worked like the best in your experience?
I believe it's online marketplaces. When you have online marketplace, you have a lot of like user-generated content you need to recommend, and it's also a very dynamic environment. So you have to react very quickly. For example, you have some new products that are really like hot deals, so you need to find users that might be interested. And in this environment, you have to combine all things that we have developed over the years, like image processing, text processing, these recommendation algorithms that are based on historical data, but also like sophisticated personalized search and geographical boosting and other components we are really proud of. We even developed some like very sophisticated models that are kind of like predicting the outcome like 3 days ahead for the sites that are having revenues for like B2B companies, and we are able to boost the content that is bringing them the highest revenue, which is and of course we always do it in a way that the user is the one who wins.
Well, that's very cool. The technical person in me wants to right now sit down with you, buy you a beer, and talk to you for like 3 hours about how that works behind the scenes. Because I heard all the things that I'm very passionate about. Artificial intelligence, those are cool things, and I appreciate that. But so I think, in case you're curious and you're listening and you want to find out maybe some more of those wins that Recombee has had, we were putting up the case studies URL on the screen right now. Gabrielle, do you want to say anything about what visitors can see on that case study page?
Yes, besides the deal sites and different marketplaces that Pavel has mentioned, I have to say that I am very happy about our performance when collaborating with different media houses, where we are working with millions of users and huge catalog of content, where our algorithms need to predict this emerging content that I have already mentioned, but also work with their historical catalog with older content that they might have buried somewhere, and maybe help the users really find something that might catch their interest. And when helping with those sites, we have seen click-through rates increasing, for instance, by 40%, which is really great improvement in the KPIs. And there are many more other applications of Recombee, for instance, in real estate, where we are working with geolocation. Any use case or any niche kind of use case that you can imagine, Recombee can be tailored to because of our strong data scientist team.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Well, this wouldn't be the Content Rocks podcast if we didn't talk about the integration between Recombee and content. So, what I want to do is I'm going to throw up the URL on the screen while we talk just for a second here. And you can go to the content.ai site. You look on the integration sections and you can pick Recombee. And then I'm going to bring that up. And I'm hoping that one of you could maybe tell our listeners who, or what they can expect about how Recombee can integrate with their content projects.
Yeah, we are very proud to be technological partner of content because we see that we have very similar vision of what our solution should provide to the end customers. We really want to provide the value, and we have our customers in the center of attention. Thanks to our collaboration with content users can integrate Recombee much faster because we already have access to the data on the platform, and also they can get prolonged trial and extra support from Recombee. We are very happy that we can enable that to Recombee and content clients, because thanks to that, the personalization on their sites can really be staggering.
Very cool. And it actually even looks like there's an offer for content customers right here as well to kind of have a little bit of a longer trial period if you want to check this out with their content projects.
Yes, there is a twice as long trial and also different discounts that are provided for Kentico content users.
Sweet, sweet. And it looks like, as we scroll down, there's a nice little animated GIF here on the content site of the actual integration itself. So I don't know, would one of you want to quick narrate through this, or do you want me to kind of guess at how it works? Because this is something I'll be honest, I have not added this custom element to any of my projects yet, but it's probably one of the very first things I'm going to do after this session.
You should definitely try it out.
Maybe just a quick comment. We have developed this user interfaces for people who don't want to bother all the time with programmers. We understand that for media houses, it's most important to have their product as good as possible, and there are always difficulties with changing the code and changing the way how the product is being visualized on the web page. So we have done a lot in admin user interface to help our clients to configure everything from the beginning. So you can even have product people playing with Recombee and setting up different recommendation scenarios like watch next or read next or similar products or personalized search. Everything can be configured easily. You can also observe the performance of the recommender engine then, so you can play with different settings and then observe the effects. Everything should be very easy.
Very cool. Very cool.
And if you have some difficulties, then we can definitely assist you, our technical team. Sorry.
Yep. And the nice thing about this integration is that it is kind of there on GitHub, so it's there for you to check out. Obviously, you need that account with Recombee to use it, and obviously your content account. But we'll kind of end this little walk through the site with, you can click the GitHub to get right to it. There's some more scenarios for personalized recommendations defined on the Recombee website. And there's even a blog about how Kontent has envisioned the integration working as well. So you can actually have all the sides. You can have the Recombee side, you can have the Kontent side and your own side. And honestly, I couldn't recommend this technology more if you're looking to do this type of solution on your Kontent site. And we could probably keep talking about it for multiple hours because I think all three of us are very passionate about it. However, we're kind of running at the end of our time here. I would say, Gabriela and Pavel, I will give you, an opportunity. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the listeners that you'd like to end with a closing statement at all?
One thing that I would like to add is that if you are thinking about your personalization roadmap, if you are thinking about where to start, there are just some simple recommendation boxes you can put on your homepage with a personalized for you scenario where you show content personalized based on the user's behavior or the similar content, watch next, read next, similar products, alternatives. But then working with the recommendation engine such as ours, you can really get further down the road. Further with the application of the recommendations to your personalized full text search, your personalized newsletters, push notifications, and all other ways how the personalization can be applied on your site.
Very cool. Very cool. Pavel, anything you want to add?
Just the future is in personalization, of course. So people don't want to spend ages to search for something interesting. They are already used to do it. In a way, they have it available, on social networks. So everybody has to adapt, and we are happy that we can help with this. You can build new features, new products on top of Recombee, and together with Kentico, we will be very happy to assist you. So feel free to contact us.
Well, fantastic. And I will do this when I publish the show. In the show notes, we'll have links for how to contact all the teams. We'll have the links we showed during the podcast here. I do want to thank both of you very much for taking time out of your afternoons to join me. I really appreciate it and hope that we can carry on that conversation in the future.
Thank you very much for the great discussion, Brian.
All right.
Thanks. Well, so that's it, folks. This was Kontent Rocks episode number 3, all about recommendations with Recombee and Kontent. And again, we'll put a lot of these links in the show notes, and we'll go from there. But with that, I will let you go. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.